What is dark feminine energy really? So I want to address this in this video. And before I get to that point, I'm going to share a personal story that's going to segue into this whole thing to really pull it together. So for those of you that have been following me for a long time, you know that I've recently went through a rebranding. I was really feeling the call to go from doing spiritual sessions, readings, exorcisms, soul fragment retrieval, inner child healing work, these individual sessions that I was doing to assist people, to help people, to go from that into coaching. I wanted to step into a deeper role where I could really be present for people on their journey. And I started to really feel as though working with women was really my core passion. I started thinking about everything that I've gone through in my life and how that translates and transmutes into how I can help other women which have gone through similar things step into the fullness of their power. That being said, it was kind of difficult for me to go from where it was at, the Tantric Dragoness LLC with the Black Lilith moon and the draconic energy and very underworld energy, very maelstrom, very churning, very transformative, very cataclysmic energy, to integrating the feminine and masculine, integrating the dark feminine and light feminine, total integration of archetypes. This type of work is really where my passion is. And in making that transition, I realized I also don't want to go about things in my business the way I've been doing it. Like, I don't want to have to post on Patreon every week. I was losing passion for it, and it wasn't fair to my followers and subscribers. It wasn't fair. I had to be honest about what I really wanted. And this is really where dark feminine energy comes in. People don't talk about the sacrifices. In order for us to protect our boundaries, in order for us to be authentic, some things must go, right? Things that we've outgrown, masks that we have worn, even energetic frequencies that we can no longer resonate at, baby, it's got to go, right? So when that happens, there's this vortex left waiting to be filled. And quite often there's this stillness or liminal space where we don't know what to do next or how to start. All the inner work I've done, I was a little panicky. I was like, you know what? I am getting rid of a lot of sources of income, my most popular sessions, my most popular subscriptions. I'm getting rid of all of this. Like, it did not feel logistically sound. Let's put it that way. But I couldn't do it anymore. It felt like I was literally dragging around a dead body. That's what it felt like. And so I stepped into my Queen of Swords energy and I cut this shit out. And am I saying that it didn't serve its purpose, that it didn't help me, that it didn't help others? That I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my time as the Tantric Dragoness. I am grateful for the people that I've connected with. I'm grateful for the people whose lives I've touched. How I've helped them heal. I've helped them crack open aspects of themselves they couldn't access. I've helped them reclaim aspects of themselves that they were unable to reclaim. But it's not fair to them or to me to continue doing something that doesn't resonate. And part of being in dark feminine energy is being okay with the silence and the liminal space between. It's that dark womb energy. Sometimes we have to let go of a branch before we grab onto another one. And that was basically what was going on. I have been building my empire brick by brick for over 5 years. And it's funny because I've had a vision that I'm still magnetizing, that I'm still building. And part of it was always going to contain coaching. Part of it was always going to contain doing retreats, going to summits, book tours, writing books, things of that nature. Like, I still have this in mind. But not the way I was doing it before. So it was scary. I had to let go. And then after I let go, I lost some abundance temporarily. Around the same time, I was going through a breakup. We're still friends, but I was going through a breakup because I realized this person doesn't have what I want in a long-term partner. And instead of waste my time and their time, I said, I'm not going to do them the disservice of settling, and vice versa, because this person doesn't particularly share this view, but I felt like I was a placeholder for them. And I felt like they were a placeholder for me. And that's not fair. That's not fair to them. That's not fair to me. And so it was hard for me. It was hard for me as a healer, as a coach, to admit that, hey, like, this isn't my person. And to be afraid of like imposter syndrome or being a failure. Like, here I am coaching other people, but yet this is kind of where my life is at. And that's another thing about dark feminine energy, is not being afraid to start over. Not being afraid to make changes to your life and to stick to your truth and to speak your truth, even though nobody else understands. But the gift, the way the universe responds to this is amazing. Because magnetism doesn't just come from light feminine, it comes from dark feminine as well. And I am going to touch on light feminine. But I feel like dark feminine energy, these aspects of dark feminine energy that sometimes they almost get lumped into dark night of the soul. And it's not a dark night of the soul. It's a reckoning of truth. It's a willingness to disrupt and establish order that is not for your soul's alignment at this time. And it doesn't mean you made a mistake. This could have been the lesson and blessing exactly as it was intended to be experienced. So after I gave all of this stuff up, after I was honest with myself and I said, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. This isn't for me. You know what happened? What was for me started coming in. I started getting downloads. I started getting ideas flowing. Things started to come together and piece together. I stopped feeling drained. I stopped feeling like, because it literally was feeling like I was dragging around a dead body. That's what it honestly felt like. Like I was dragging around a dead body. I was expending too much energy keeping things alive that were asking to be killed, essentially. And letting these things go made room for what was meant for me. It made room for the magnetism that I was starting to embody, but I feel like that was what was missing. Was being willing to let go of outdated identities linked to my business, myself, and my relationships. Now, I am no stranger to deaths and rebirths, but this was something entirely different. This was a massive level up. In doing this, I felt a quantum shift that rippled throughout like the multiverse. Like it was this level of shit. And that's what happens when we really honor our dark feminine. When we cut out people, situations, and things that are draining us, that aren't feeding us. And when we stick to our boundaries. And when we love ourselves enough to say no. We don't just say no to other people. Which, by the way, practice saying no without explanation. That is a good exercise for embodying dark feminine energy. Just say no. If it doesn't resonate, say no. And don't feel like you have to have an excuse or an explanation. Just say no. No, I'm not going to do that. No, thank you. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Start practicing doing that. And also be okay with saying no to yourself. Because sometimes we may feel this impulse or this draw, this pull that's based in these like latent patterns, these old programs that aren't good for us. So dark feminine energy is also saying no to ourselves. See, a lot of people just think the dark feminine energy is like just total chaos and just total, like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I don't give a fuck about this and that. I'm just going to do this and that. And I'm going to wild out. And there is a level of sophistication to dark feminine energy. There is a unmistakable sovereignty, authenticity, and, for lack of a better word, black cat energy that dark feminine has. A magnetism and allure that dark feminine has. And it all stems from honoring your needs. Honoring your energy first, pouring back into your cup. Cutting things out that don't serve you. Doesn't matter if you love it or not. Not everything is meant to go the full distance with us. Some things are seasonal. Some things are just meant for a season. And that's okay. Show gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for being in my life, so-and-so. Thank you for being in my life, business, career. Thank you for being in my life, this particular location, this particular apartment, this particular house. But it's time to let go because there's something better on the other side. The lesson has been learned. We have to end the cycle. We have to learn how to end the cycle. And that's the other thing about dark feminine energy that people don't talk about. End the cycle. Stop repeating unnecessary lessons. You learned the damn lesson already. Why are you repeating it? Why? And that's how people get stuck in karmic loops. So let go to make room for abundance. Let go to make room for the person that is your dream guy or gal, or dream job, or dream pet, or dream child, whatever. Whatever resonates with you. Feminine energy, yes, thank you for that confirmation. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but there was a raven in the background, which is, by the way, is one of my totems. And a symbol of dark feminine energy, like a pretty good solid symbol. But just to wrap things up, dark feminine energy is about honoring your sovereignty and authenticity, even if that means cutting out things, situations, and people that you love that drain you, that no longer resonate with you. It's also being magnetic and alluring by pouring into yourself, by detaching from disrespect, by saying no without explanation. Light feminine energy is about softness. It's about honoring more of the inner child. It's Disney princess energy, basically. It is like, if I could give you an example, dark feminine is like Maleficent, right? Light feminine is Aurora, right? And both of them are different sides of the same coin. Dark feminine Lilith, light feminine Eve, right? different sides of the same coin. Both are needed within and without. So I just want to make this video to kind of explain, the brand changes I've been making, why I am focusing on helping women exclusively now, why everything is focused on goddess activation, archetype work, different goddess archetypes, dark and light feminine goddess archetypes, healing the inner masculine, healing the inner feminine, why all of this is important. This is the next chapter of the work that I'm here to do. And it's important for all of us, for all women, to understand the inner workings of their dark feminine, their light feminine, and to honor those aspects. If you guys are interested in really learning how to do this, I just launched a new masterclass. It's called the Goddess Alchemy Masterclass, Awaken Your Dark and Light Feminine. And it is 7 modules, plus the early birds that sign up now. They get 2 bonus modules, which include an activation video and a mini guide on 7 ways to activate your dark and light feminine. In the masterclass itself, there's also a bonus edition at the end, not included in the 7 modules, where I talk about the importance of healing the inner masculine and having that masculine container as well. But essentially, this masterclass is designed to help you activate both so that you can reclaim your voice, so that you can stand in your power, you can unapologetically be in your sovereignty, reclaim lost aspects of yourself, develop those strong boundaries of self-love, pour into yourself, self-care, soft magnetism, attraction instead of chasing, activating and understanding your different archetypes within, all different types of exercises and guided journeys and meditations and rituals and things of that nature. When all is said and done, you will leave the class feeling as though you have stepped in to your goddess power. So definitely check it out. I have it on my website. You can also find it in the link of this video as well if you want to go straight in there. Definitely take advantage of the early bird sign up. You also get a huge discount. So there's that as well. Thanks for tuning in. I am so happy to be talking to you guys again face to face. And stay tuned for more videos. We're going to be talking about all stuff relating to dark and light feminine, different goddess archetypes, activating your goddess archetypes, healing the inner feminine, masculine, and much more. Thanks for watching.